Hey everybody, we're going to try to do our pop art on Photopea. And as you can see, I have absolutely no shame, and I took this really ridiculous self-portrait. And I have opened that up in Photopea, and just want to kind of go through what you need to do to create your outlines. So that's our first step. That's what we want to kind of get knocked out right away. So let me hide this little guy here. And we're going to come over and take a look at the far right side of your screen. And if you're not seeing layers come out, it may be partially hidden. You want to click the double arrows here. You want to get your layers panel to show, and it's going to act just like Photoshop. So the first thing that we're going to want to do is to create a new layer. You can see it looks like the folded Post-it note. When I click on it, it puts in an unfilled layer that's titled layer number 1. And I'm going to retitle that by double clicking on the word layer 1. This is going to be my lines layer. Now I want you to take a look at your screen, and the foreground background colors are going to be in this area right here, this kind of weird elongated box. The color that's on the top is your active color. The color that's on your bottom is your background color. It's not active. These arrows can switch that. And if you hit the little D, it's going to take you back to your default colors, which are black and white. And we want to start our outlining with black. So you want to make sure that this color in the top box is indeed black. If it is not, click on it. You get your color picker again. Put your cursor in a nice, very black area and hit OK, and it will become black. All right, now on to making the lines. You can use your brush tool, or you can use your pencil tool. And the keyboard shortcut is exactly the same as in Photoshop. That's the letter B key. So we've got black as our color. We've got the brush. And now since we're using, well, most of us anyway, are going to be using just our mouse. Or if you have a soft stylus, one of those squishy, rubbery ended, it looks kind of like a pen, but it's got a squishy rubber end on it. You can use those on your touchscreen Chromebooks, and it does work with this tool, which is nice. So that's what I was working with when I was doing my practice session with this. But for now, I'm just going to use my regular mouse. So I've got my brush going. I want to make sure that I've got a pretty small brush here. I really don't want to overwhelm my picture. So I'm about at a 6. I want good hard edges to the lines that I'm creating. So I want to make sure that my hardness is at 100%. Now I found that this works best when you're really zoomed into the area that you are working on. So just like in regular Photoshop, we're going to look for the magnifying glass, and that's the Z key for zoom tool. And let's say that I wanted to start working on one of my eyes. And I know this is really scary. Bear with me, folks. So I've got my eye really zoomed in. So it's filling the screen, and it's really kind of breaking those details down. Now I can take my brush, make sure you don't leave it on zoom, and now I can start going over those lines that I can see on my face. Photopea is a little laggy compared to Photoshop, but us beggars at distance learning can't be choosers. So I'm just going to work I'm going to outline that little highlight in my eye there. Work to create an outline of exactly what I'm seeing on my screen. I can zoom back out and check it. Now, the best way to check what you've done, I like to just turn the background layer off, eyeball icon. Yeah, it looks pretty good. It looks like an eyeball. We'll turn it back on, making sure that my lines layer stays active. A hand tool can be used to cruise around to a different part of the face. And again, you want to really zoom in. Oh my God, I hope you guys appreciate me for this. This is horribly embarrassing. I'm going to go back to my brush and I'm going to start working on my nose. And again, I'm really zooming in because the brush and the pencil tool really seem to work the best and give me the smoothest results when I'm really zoomed in on my picture. There's some nostrils for you. And I'm just going to take my time and work on creating pretty decent looking lines. If you don't like what you've done, your history is great. If you leave it up, because it's going to pop up along with your layers, that's going to be where you want to kind of click back and forth in and out of what you're doing. And remember, we're looking to simplify things here, so you don't have to trace over every single line you see, but we do want to make sure that we have everything looking pretty good and all of the details of the face worked out. Now, what I can also do is create lines that are going to outline the areas that I'm going to fill in fully with shadow. So on the sides of the mouth here, I'm going to fill that in totally. And if it's not too big of an area, you can just fill it in with your brush tool as you're working. I'll zoom back out. And I'll check. All right, I guess it kind of looks like me so far. All right, so your job is to work with your base picture. And my base picture, I got it as simple as I could. I was just in the spare bedroom that I've converted into an office for the length of distance learning. And I've got some stuff in the background, and that's okay. I'm going to just not trace over it for my final project. So your job over the next couple of days is to really try to get those outlines done on a separate layer. One other thing that you can do if you don't like a line, especially if you have gone in, it happened, 20 steps ago in your history. Let's zoom in again here. Let's say I don't like this line here. I can come over to the eraser tool, which is shortcut E. And again, sometimes it's laggy. Give it a second here. There we go. And I can just erase that line. Or if I don't like this one line on my lip here, I think it looks a little jagged, I'll erase that. Get it looking pretty clean. And then I'll try again to make it a little bit smoother, but remember we want to get zoomed in. Use my hand tool to pull that up and around. That line looks much better. So very carefully, I would like you guys on the first day to work on outlining the features of the face. Try to get your eyes, your nose, your mouth, eyebrows, etc. taken care of. And if you'd like to work on outlining the outer part of the face, that's fine as well. Now, I worked on this for a while during the tutorial for you. I also worked on it outside of the tutorial. Let me open up that file for you. And you can see at this point, I have outlined my hand, my watch, my hair, my shoulder, some of the stitching on my shirt. I don't know if I'm going to go as crazy as the pattern on my shirt. I did an outline around the outer edge of my face and neck. And I made sure I got some fingernails in there as well. So the outline on this step here is pretty much finished. I may put some, just final touches. I'll need to fill in the nostrils with black before we go in and start doing fill layers and patterns and things like that. So day one, just try to get the features of your face set, which would be for Thursday's work. And for Friday, go ahead and try to get hair, shoulders, etc. If there's a hand in your pose or any other prop that you're using in your picture, outlined as well. Anything that you don't want to have appear in that final pop art piece, we're just not going to outline on the base picture. All right, folks. Well, I certainly hope you've enjoyed this fabulous tutorial, and I will check in with you guys again soon. Take care. Stay healthy.